Get a full stack CLI, IDE, and Cloud UI, and the freedom to bring your own keys. Factory AI Droid gives choice. Hello, I'm Jeremy Grove, founder of Media Data Fusion. In this video, I will be covering Factory AI Droid, a CLI, IDE, and cloud platform that gives you the flexibility to use their API keys, yours, or mix and match. I'll cover install, pass setup, and BYOK configuration. I will go beyond their guide in showing you how to configure custom providers such as GLM 4.6. You can obtain a free master guide at my website, MediaDataFusion.com guides, where I will cover advanced setups and real-world use. Factory AI Droid. I have really become interested in this tool since I first discovered it, as it's given me flexibility. As a full-time developer and founder of Media Data Fusion, I like having the flexibility to move between providers. Provider lock-in is something that I think that everyone should be aware of. Many of us developers really liked the Claude Code interface, especially through the terminal. It was efficient and well. But it's one thing to really be aware of vendor lock-in, because these models can go up, they can down and change. And Anthropic has had a lot of issues of the last couple months. And so this is where Factory AI Droid is a tool that is really interesting. It has the full CLI interface, very similar to Claude Code, but it has features beyond Claude Code. In reality, they have implemented features that I wish Claude Code had. So it's very, very nice. So you'll see here, they have the CLI, they have a web platform, and it's quite nice. So the very interesting thing about Factory AI Droid is the flexibility. They're giving you real choice with no vendor lock-in. I truly believe the future of development is going to be using a neutral platform that's not Claude Code, that's not Codex, that's not Gemini CLI, unless one of these providers just goes above and beyond everyone else. But vendor lock-in is a real issue. And I really have enjoyed the Factory AI Droid. Their agents built into their models. They're optimized differently than Claude Code, and they're done quite well. And this is relatively new, so it can only get better from here. So you'll see they have the BYOK option, which I think is amazing. So for me, this is like extremely important to have the BYOK to bring my own keys. For example, like when I get my car repaired, I will favor a mechanic that will allow me to buy my own parts and just charge me for his labors, because he's confident in the ability of the value that he's given me, and he's not trying to upsell me on parts. And so that's what Factory AI Droid is doing here. So you can see they have confidence in the platform they've built, they have confidence in their tools, and they're confident to let you use their tool and provide your own keys because they know the value that they're giving. So this is something really important, and it's the same methodology I use when I'm going to get my car repaired. If I have a mechanic that will allow me to buy my own parts, I have a lot more confidence in them. So they're allowing you to do that, and I think that's really, really amazing. And the thing about they're a neutral platform, so Claude Code, you can configure keys inside of it as well. But keep in mind that tool is optimized for Anthropic's models. That tool is optimized for Sonnet 4.5, for Sonnet Haku 4.5. So it's optimized for that, which of course it's optimized for that. But Droid is optimizing for all the models, which that is really the direction that I'm going. Of course, I'm adapting and I'm changing with as the technology evolves. But this is something that's extremely helpful in today's times, because you may want to use certain models for certain tasks. This is where the industry is going, because you do not need the most powerful model for every task. It really depends on what type of dev that you're doing and how large the code base is. So they have basically custom agents that you can run. You can run these things, you can run them in the CLI, You can run them in the IDE, and you can run them in the cloud. It's quite interesting, the methodology of what they're using here. Very interesting. We will go into that in more detail. But we need to get this thing installed in the CLI. So let's click on Get Started. So this will take you directly to their quick start page. If you're on Mac, such as myself, and it's a first-time install, you will need to run this command. And we will go through this process. And I will also show you my extended guide that you can get for free at MediaDataFusion.com, guides, where I will go into custom installations beyond this, specifically configuring other providers that they have not given instructions for in advanced setups. So I have put together a Factory AI Droid master guide. You can go to my website, MediaDataFusion.com, go to the guide section. You can download this completely free. And yes, I'm going to be covering in this guide quite a few more things that are available on the Factory AI Droid website. Of course, they do have a decent setup guide, but primarily they don't explain on how to set up GLM 4.6 directly from Z.AI, which is very important for me. I don't want to work through OpenRouter, etc. I want to use my GLM account directly. So that's going to be pretty important. So if you're on Mac like myself, you're going to copy and paste this for a new install directly in your directory. So we will open up terminal and we will test that out. And then we will, if we have issues, we can run this command. Okay. All this is in the guide available at MediaDataFusion.com, guides for free. And if you're on Windows, these commands would apply. Okay. So you'll see we're downloading Factory CLI 0.2.1.4. So you'll see we're downloading. Okay, we can run Droid to get installed. Okay. For most users, you're going to now want to navigate to the folder or repo where you want to open it. So this is a test repo that I have. So we're going to go over to there. So you can see that I've went over to this repository and I'm on the dev branch. So let's just run Droid to see if everything's working. Okay. So you can see that we're all logged in. We're all configured. Welcome to Factory. So we're going to need to log in. Okay. So this is where you'll log into your Factory AI account. Very simple. So you will see by default, you are going to have their keys. Okay. So we can come here, we can see our models. So these are the default models that they offer on one of their plans. You can see the GPT-5 codecs, the price for Sonnet 4.5 is significantly higher. Definitely the issue with the Sonnet models, and even the Opus model was even 6 times. You can see the cost on that one. They're just trying to shut that one down. And the Droid core is using GLM 4.6. So GLM 4.6, I'm going to show you how to install this custom, which their guide that they give you is basically to use in GLM, not directly through GLM, but through a sub provider. But I will show you how to install GLM specifically, and basically you can install any BYOK model that you want. So it's pretty nice. Just to show you what the standard features are, and then here you have similar commands to that of Claude Code. Okay, I like the extra options that they give you. Of course, you have the standard clear. I like the compress option because it gives you, it's a little bit different, I think, than Claude Codes, because it's actually starting a new session. I think Claude Code, when you use the compact feature, it doesn't work that great because you compact a couple times and your agent is going to be having context rot. So I think this one works a little bit better, and I like it. Okay. So one of the things that I really like about this is the plan mode. So that's one of the things that a lot of us Claude Code users really like is the plan mode. Well, they have a spec, research, and plan, which I really appreciate. And then they have auto low, auto medium, and auto high. I'm really, really enjoying these modes that they have and the way the agents work. So one of the things that I really like about this is the spec, research, and plan. Then you have auto low, auto medium, and auto high. So they're really giving you a lot of control, and this I really appreciate. And I really appreciate that on Sonnet they give you the options for low, medium, high. So we've got GPT-5 codecs selected. Unfortunately, they don't have the option yet for the high and low and medium GPT-5, but they do have that for Sonnet 4.5. So hopefully that'll be coming soon. Let's just get status and create to-do. And we'll run that. I really like the detailed instructions. I really like the flow, and I really like the options. So this is right where I think it excels Claude Code in its current form. It's given me lots of options, and I really like they say no, keep iterating on spec. Now I would hit no on Claude Code, but it was more of an instructional basis than the CLI understanding the process. So no, we're going to keep iterating. So because that's one thing that you really want to revise your plan before you execute. And I do hope for some additional iterations where we can plan with one model and execute with another. So I would love to see another option or configuration where I can plan with one model and execute with another. So hopefully that'll be coming soon. I assume it would be. I'm sure user feedback is going to get on that. Okay, so they've populated the to-do now, and since it's created it, let's go over to the IDE and confirm if this has been done. Okay, now we're on the IDE. Let's see if it's created the to-do. Okay, here's the to-do list. Okay, let's get rid of that. Yeah, it created a really basic to-do list, not anything special. But that was GPT-5. I believe that I'm going to get quite a bit better results with GLM 4.6. I think GPT-5 it's good, but I like the GPT-5 codex models, not the regular GPT-5 models. So that's something that you want to keep in mind. But that's been installed. So now that we have all of that configured, okay, we've tested the Droid setup with their API keys, as you'll see from my Droid account. Now we would like to add our own custom configuration. And myself, I want to add a custom configuration for GLM 4.6 and its other models, for GLM specifically, because I really like this model. I think it's on par or above Sonnet 4.5 and GPT-5 codecs. I think it's a really good model, and it's really for me, it's the best bang for your buck that exists currently. We're late October 2025. So we're going to go down to the BYOK section, but specifically the GLM setup from Z.AI, because this is the one that I want to configure specifically for my GLM account. So you'll confirm your directory here, okay? And it's recommended that you would create a backup. Okay, so basically here's the commands on how to configure Z.AI, basically GLM 4.6 and their other submodels. We're gonna have 4.5, 4.5 Air, and also, I'm not sure if everybody knows about GLM, they also have image generation models and video generation. So I mean, the bang for your buck is quite significant. I believe I'm going to integrate this on another product that I'm building out. I'm actually building out a product that's going to be basically all types of free tools and BYOK tools, such as social media post generators, AI image generation, video generation. It's going to have a whole lot of tools. It's going to be completely free. That's going to be Kit Utility. That's going to be available at kitutility.com. It's not launched yet, but it will be coming here soon in the coming weeks. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to paste your API key here. Okay, you're going to fill this out for every single model, unless you don't want all these models. But it's nice because this will show up in your menu, and you can feel free to select from which model that you want to use. But GLM 4.6 is their most powerful model, and I really, really like it. So once you pre-fill all that, you're going to copy this whole block, just like that. Okay, you're going to copy that block, and it looks like this PDF. Maybe you may have to format, copy and paste this over to another document. But yeah, you're going to copy and paste that with your API key. And then we're going to copy and paste that over in our terminal and get that set up. And if we're a new install, we're going to need to use the commands here. We'll paste that in there. Okay. So we've now updated our models. Okay. Let's see if now our custom models will show up. Now you see my custom models are all installed. It's really that simple. And in my guide, I'll also have the commands, how you can overwrite that and change models and add them at will. So you can literally install all of these, which is really nice. So GLM 4.6 is definitely their strongest model. I will be using that. Let's give the same can. All right, so GLM 4.6. So we're gonna give it all, let it go. So you see this thing zooms directly in on that ages.md file, which is really nice. So I really like the way that this thing outputs a plan. And if you're working on something more complex, it will really give you really detailed explanations of its understanding. And I love the fact that I can iterate on those plans. So if you'll remember, the to-do list that Codex or that GPT-5 did was literally like 10 or 11 lines. And now we've got a lot of action items, a detailed checklist. So just another example of GLM 4.6 outperforming a lot of other models, and it's fast. It's really good. So now I will demonstrate to you, because this is Cursor, probably my preferred IDE. Well, of course, there are other ones, VS Code, JetBrains, etc., but this is my preferred IDE. I will walk you through how to install this inside of the IDE. Actually, very, very simple to install this inside the IDE. Literally, we open up the window, Droid. So, because the first step is you need to install this thing globally inside of the terminal, the CLI, and then you'll come right in here in the IDE and do the same, and it's going to install that. So yes, we're going to install the extension. So very simple, straightforward. That's it. And now you'll see I got the extension icon just the same as I had it for Claude Code, Codex, etc. So, and you have the model. It's confirming my model switching on Droid. So very, very nice. So Factory AI Droid also has a cloud UI platform, which is something that Codex is now doing. I think Anthropic is now trying to do this, and Droid is definitely doing this, which is quite nice. Let me get rid of that. So let's see how we can link this. So of course you have their custom droids, which is quite nice. So we're going to have to download if we want to work local. So this is quite interesting what they have. They have an option where you can actually link to your local repository, or you can do this remotely through GitHub. So you would need to link your GitHub or your GitLab, etc. You can work this way, or you can literally work locally, which for me, that is the most interesting solution for this video. So I'm going to download that. So we're going to do macOS Silicon. So let's download that package and install that. So real basic install, just like any other application. No rocket science there. Bridge paired, that's simple. We'll enable permissions. And now you'll see we're linked. So I'm literally working directly in my own, directly on my local computer. This is quite interesting. So we will go and link to the same project that we were working on. And we're just going to go next. And you can see the branch there. So you can see our models. Let's see. So we got all these different models, the reasoning level, quite a few different models here. I have yet to confirm if we can have our custom models in here, because I don't see our custom model here. I do not see that. Let's get status. So you can see that we are on our repository. Same project, but Animate, which I'm using for these test code bases. And we're working through the cloud, but it's connecting to my local environment. As you can see, they got some interesting features. I'm still testing this factory bridge because I'm working mostly through the CLI, but these are quite interesting. I'm also interested if they're going to have maybe a mobile app so you can maybe start some tasks in the cloud. But I think that Factory AI Droid is very forward thinking. The tool really works. I've been using it for about 2 weeks now. And to be quite frankly, I'm preferring it over Claude Code's interface currently because I can use every one of my tools inside of it. I can use it inside my IDE. I can use it now in the cloud. It's just really nice, and I like the way that their agents are fine-tuned. But I think it's important to stay nimble and be ready to change tools. And that's how easy it is to set up Factory AI Droid inside your CLI, IDE, and a cloud UI platform. Factory AI Droid is giving you the flexibility to use their keys, your keys, or mix and match. And I've gone beyond their installation guide and showed you how you can bring your own keys, such as GLM 4.6, and configure them to work efficiently. Remember, you can pick up the full extended master guide for free on my website, MediaDataFusion.com/guides. That's it for me. See you in the next one.